Paris. Enchanting, romantic, a place like no other. The city of my dreams. Until now. My name is Ella, and I started my summer vacation in Paris, hauling a backpack and suitcase up 5 flights of stairs because the elevator at the hostel was broken. I had a reservation for the first floor, but my cheating ex-boyfriend got here first and used it with his new girlfriend, Harpy. Harper. But it's fine. I'm only 2 days behind them, but I can catch up. They're probably using the itinerary I put together. Because Ryan, the human equivalent of a decorative houseplant, is too lazy to do his own research. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start at the beginning. I met Ryan in the 3rd grade when we were 8 years old. It was love at first sight. We passed notes in class, we ate lunch together, we did homework together. Well, technically, I did all our schoolwork, year after year, while Ryan blissfully coasted through life doing whatever the heck he wanted, like perfecting his dumb video game skills. Number 4. The Boston Tea Party was a protest against... Ryan, are you even listening? I'm trying to walk you through the homework so you can actually answer a question if the professor asks tomorrow.
I'll be fine. The professor likes me anyway.
I don't think so. Just today, she said that you have the memory of a frog, and that you should get your head out of...
Okay, I get your point. But who cares what a dumb professor thinks about me? Studies are for losers anyway.
Did you just call me a loser?
No, not you, of course. You're amazing. You're the best, Ella. Now let's just finish this so I can finally treat you to your favorite ice cream. I'm done with my game anyway.
Really? Give me 2 minutes. Yeah, I kind of missed the point there. And things didn't change much even as I grew older. By the time we got to high school, everyone was calling us Ryanella, much like Cinderella. Because, just like her, I was out here slogging my butt off for Ryan while he lived his best carefree zero-effort life. The entire school saw it, except me. People would literally call me his unpaid assistant, a doormat, a carpet under Ryan's feet. But I ignored them because Ryan would occasionally give me a big hug, flash that lazy smile, and say,
Ella, you're the best.
Soon it was time for senior year, and I threw myself into planning our big post-graduation trip to Paris. The perfect way to kick off our next chapter before heading to college together. Well, my new chapter, because Ryan had decided to take a gap year. I always thought we'd go to college together. That was the plan, right?
Well, plans change, Ella. Besides, I really need to, find myself first. There's so much untapped potential inside me. Who am I, really? What do I want? I need to feel my vibes. You know what I mean?
I guess. But we're still on for Paris, right? Because I'd hate for your graduation gift to go to waste. And I pulled out a receipt for a first-class ticket to Paris. Ryan's eyes instantly lit up, and he threw his arms around me.
Oh my God, this is the best gift ever! But I didn't get you anything.
You're in my life, and that's all I want.
You're the best, Ella.
I was practically floating when I got back home. Ryan and I were gonna spend our entire summer in Paris, and it was gonna be epic. I was just making plans in my head for the most romantic getaway ever when Mom walked into my room. Ella, why am I getting a message from the bank saying you spent over $1,000 on a first-class plane ticket? For Ryan? I was gonna tell you, Mom. What? That you spent your inheritance money on a stupid ticket? Ella, that money was for your future. Ryan is my future, Mom. I've loved him since the 3rd grade. Besides, I'll be going to college soon, and I wanted to end our graduation on a happy note. Will you please stop judging me now? I'm not judging you, Elle. But sometimes you act like an idiot around Ryan. He might be a nice boy, but what if there's someone else out there who's better for you? Better than Ryan? That's impossible, Mom. He's the only one in the world for me. Mom didn't argue with me after that. A week later, we had our senior prom. And as expected, Ryan and I were crowned the prom king and queen. It was the best night of my life. Until Harper showed up, and Ryan ignored me like I was a potted plant in a corner.
Harper! What are you doing here?
You're Harper? how nice to finally meet.
My cousin Wally needed a date for the prom. I flew in last night.
Ryan, aren't you gonna introduce me?
Wow, that's great! How long are you staying?
Hi, Harper. I'm Ella.
My family is moving here this summer, permanently.
So you're going to our...
Cool. Then we'll be seeing a lot of each other.
For the rest of the night, Harper hovered around me and Ryan like a honeybee. She was on the dance floor, by the punch bowl, laughing at the stupidest things Ryan said. It wasn't like I was enjoying third-wheeling in my own relationship, but they were old friends. Ryan had always told me stories about how they were close as kids, so maybe he was just excited to see her again. And maybe I was just overthinking. But then we went to the ladies' room, and Harper turned to me with a smirk.
I love that crown. Do you mind if I try it on?
Before I could answer, she snatched it off my head and crowned herself. For a moment, I fantasized about wrestling her to the ground and taking back what was mine. But all I did was smile like an idiot and tell her how pretty she looked. I thought I would just tell Ryan about it on our way back home, but he insisted on dropping off Harper and her cousin.
Shotgun.
She slipped into the front seat, while I was stuck in the back with Wally snoring on my shoulder. Suddenly, the car stopped.
Ella, you're home.
Wait, you're dropping me off first?
You're on the way to their house.
Can I at least have my crown back?
Oh, but it looks so much better on me. Please let me borrow it for tonight. I'll make sure to send it with Ryan tomorrow.
But...
Relax, Ella. It's just a dumb crown. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
And he just left. It's safe to say, I never got my crown back. Or my man. Because 2 days later, Harper, joined our school and Ryan broke up with me. He started ignoring me at school and didn't even return any of my calls or messages.
Ryan here. Leave me a message. And if this is Ella, stop texting me.
I spent thousands on your first class ticket to Paris, and I was gonna fly coach. That's how much I love you, and now you're ghosting me? I was devastated, and I planned on hiding under the covers forever. But on the day of my graduation, Mom flung open my door. Ella, enough is enough. You're graduating today. I'm not going. You worked hard for this. Don't let that boy take it away from you. Everyone knows he dumped me for Harpy. It's embarrassing, Mom. Well, if you ask me, it's a blessing. Now you won't be stuck with a lazy loser who doesn't know what to do with his life. And you can finally travel to Paris all by yourself, doing things that you like. No, I can't do it. I'll go to the graduation, but to go to the most romantic city in the world without my one true love? I'd rather eat sawdust. Besides, Ryan and I planned that trip together. No, Ella, you planned that trip. Ryan just showed up. Now get up, put on a cute dress, and go to your graduation with your chin up. I did what Mom said, and honestly, it felt like a good idea. My friends tried to cheer me up, and for a moment, I was happy. But then, I walked on stage to get my diploma and spotted Harper sitting in the front row, wearing my crown. And I knew it was going to be a long, horrible summer. I drowned myself in pity for the rest of the summer. Ate junk food, watched sad movies, doom-scrolled social media till I passed out crying over my stupid single life, while everyone else posted pics of their perfect summer. Volleyball games on the beach under the California sun, trips to the Redwood Forest, the Grand Canyon, Disneyland, Ryan and Harper, the Eiffel Tower behind them. Wait, what? Ryan went to Paris with Harpy? I immediately clicked his social media profile. And there he was, enjoying that two-faced witch on my vacation. Ryan and Harper taking a selfie at an outdoor Parisian cafe. Ryan jumping for joy, the Arc de Triomphe behind him. Harper, holding a yellow umbrella in front of a hotel that we were supposed to stay in. I had it. It was one thing to break up with me, and a totally different thing to take Harper, on a vacation that I planned. My blood boiled, and I screamed for Mom. Mom, I'm going to Paris! The Paris streets were bustling with life. People walking their dogs, couples chatting in outdoor cafes, everyone dressed in immaculate clothes. This was the Paris of my dreams. but I couldn't enjoy it because I was on a mission to find my cheating ex-boyfriend. And the best place to start my quest was at the hotel. I was sitting in an outdoor cafe across from the hotel, sipping my third cafe au lait, when suddenly the hotel doors opened, and Harper, and Ryan walked out, hand in hand. I threw some money on the table and started stalking them until they stopped to look in a shop window. Ryan looked behind, and I immediately ducked into a souvenir shop. I bought a baseball cap and an oversized hoodie as a disguise, and continued tailing them when I saw Ryan hail a taxi. I felt angry, miserable, and humiliated all at the same time, and I wanted to bawl my eyes out. But just then, my phone pinged. It was a social media notification from Ryan. A selfie of the happy couple in the taxi. Next stop, the Louvre. I immediately decided to take a taxi, but they flew past me like I was made of cellophane. Am I invisible? I pulled up a map on my phone. The Louvre was only a mile and a half away. If I walked fast, I could make it in 30 minutes. I made my way through the streets, crowded with slow-walking tourists, trying not to step on anyone. Pardon-moi. Pardon-moi. And when I saw the iconic glass pyramid up ahead, I started to run. I finally entered the museum, and my eyes went straight to this gorgeous painting, the Mona Lisa. The masterpiece was smaller than I had imagined, but it was a thrill to see her. I was admiring the artwork when I felt a hand pull the cell phone out of my back pocket. I smiled to myself, then turned around to see a handsome pickpocket slipping it into his jacket. It's a fake.
I assure you, the Mona Lisa is quite real.
No, I mean the cell phone you just stole. It's fake. The City of Love is quite famous for pickpockets at tourist attractions. So I carry a fake cell phone for thieves to steal, then continue on their way.
Then I'll continue on my way.
I grabbed his arm and held on. Not so fast. Why are you faking a French accent?
I was born here, but then my mother took me to Hollywood. She wanted to act in films.
Clearly, she must have failed because here you are, robbing tourists.
Can you let me go now?
No. Look, you have two choices. I can go tell the security guard you stole my phone, or you can help me find these two losers. I showed him the pic of Ryan and Harpy by the Eiffel Tower.
Did they steal your fake wallet?
No, that's still in my bag. She stole the love of my life, and I'm going to get him back, with your help. Because you speak French, and 4 eyes are better than 2.
I'd rather get arrested.
Please, I can pay you.
Why are you running after the despicable monster who dumped you?
Because I've loved him since the 3rd grade.
And maybe it's time to grow up.
You don't understand. I've spent all these years planning a future with him. Now my future is a big blank because this girl stole him from me. And now they're out having fun on my vacation, and here I am trying to talk a pickpocket into helping me tail them. Oh God, I'm such a loser. I feel like slapping myself across the face. And then I don't know what happened, but I started to cry. Like a real hard, ugly cry.
Could you please stop crying? Everyone's staring at me like I stole your kidney.
Will you help me?
Okay, I'll help you. But your ex isn't here.
How could you possibly know? Gabriel pulled out a wallet and flipped it open. Ryan's ID was inside.
They were on their way out of the museum when I, bumped into him.
I must be an evil person because this news put me in a better mood. Maybe he deserves it. But when we find them, you'll give it back, okay?
Of course. There's one problem. How do we know where they're going?
I think they're following my itinerary. If I'm right, their next stop is the Jardin des Tuileries. The fountain was even prettier in person, and it took me back to the time I was planning the trip. Back then, I imagined myself strolling the sweeping promenades of the garden with my Ryan. Instead, I was walking around the iconic central pool with a French pickpocket.
Since I'm helping you stalk your ex, shouldn't we know each other's names?
I'm Ella.
Like short for Cinderella? Isabella? Mozzarella?
Just Ella. Now, can we focus on finding Ryan?
I'm Gabriel, in case you're interested.
But I wasn't. I was too focused on finding Ryan. Just then, I took a sip from my harmonica bottle, then casually played a tune on the harmonica built into the cap.
Did you just make music with your water bottle?
Yep. Coolest thing ever. Hydration and entertainment in one. Whoever invented this is a genius.
Okay, that's actually impressive. I kind of want one.
Oh, Are you planning to steal it?
Some things are actually worth paying for. Can I try it?
Uh-huh. Fine. Here, try it. Just blow into the cap, like a civilized person.
This is cool, and I love it. Where do I get one?
Amazon. Link's in the description. Now, can you walk a little faster?
What's the American saying? Stop to smell the roses?
I'm not here to see the sights. I'm here to get my man back.
And what will you do when we find him? Punch him in the nose, drop to your knees, and beg him to come back? Kiss me passionately to get him jealous? All of the above?
None of the above. I'll simply tell him we were meant to be together.
Oh, sure. That should work.
He'll come to his senses.
I'm hungry. Aren't you?
And suddenly, my tummy started making noises, and I realized that I hadn't eaten the whole day. Gabriel suggested we sit outside a small cafe at the edge of the garden and keep watch from there. I was inhaling my pasta when I noticed Gabriel staring at me. What?
Just never seen a pretty girl eat pasta like an uncivilized freak. Let me show you the right way to do it.
And then he picked up his fork, spun the spaghetti against the spoon in one fluid, effortless motion, lifting the perfect swirl of pasta to his lips. Slow, deliberate, ridiculously attractive. I was so lost in watching him swirl that pasta that I barely noticed when the waiter brought a bottle of wine to our table and poured 2 glasses. But I'm not 21 yet.
In Paris, the legal age is 18. Santé.
Santé. As we ate, I learned more about Gabriel. His mother brought him back to Paris when he was 14 so she could help his grandparents run the family cafe. He cleaned tables after school until he was old enough to be a waiter. But then his grandparents passed away in a car crash.
Mom wanted to keep the cafe in the family, but she wasn't good at business. She took out several loans and struggled to keep up with the payments. And she got sick and left. Since I was not earning enough to pay the loans, the bank foreclosed on us and I lost the cafe.
What about your dad?
He's not around anymore, but I don't need him either. One day, I will make enough money to buy my cafe back. This pickpocketing thing, it's just temporary.
The waiter handed Gabriel the bill, and he pulled out Ryan's wallet.
I think Ryan should buy you dinner, no?
Oui. Once Gabriel and I left the cafe, I told him that the next stop on the itinerary was a sunset walk along the Seine River. The setting sun sparkled across the river. Couples strolled hand in hand. It was truly romantic. Then I caught sight of a familiar head in the crowd. That's Ryan! I started to make my way through the crowd with Gabriel right behind me.
Shouldn't we discuss strategy?
Just follow my lead. But I had no lead for him to follow. All I had was a stupid plan in my head. That I would stand next to Ryan and pretend to trip into him in the middle of the crowd. But just as I leaned, Ryan moved away, and instead of dramatically crashing into him, my face planted straight into the pavement.
Ella? Is that you?
I got up and flipped my hair back, ignoring the fact that I probably looked like an injured street pigeon. Oh, Ryan, what a surprise! I didn't think you'd be in Paris. You know, on that ticket I paid for. You really have no self-respect, do you? Oh, wow, Harper, is that you? I could barely recognize you. I guess the Paris sun has really roasted you alive. Oh, no, wait. Maybe it's not the sun. Maybe that's just how you glow when you're half human, half pure evil.
Ella, you shouldn't have come here.
Why? I planned this entire trip, didn't I? I made the itinerary, the reservations, the whole experience. Why shouldn't I be here? And don't worry, I'm not here to stalk you. No, sir. I actually came here with my boyfriend. I turned around to see Gabriel staring at me in shock. I grabbed his arm and pulled him toward me. This is Gabriel, my mi amor, the guy who stole my heart away. Right, sweetie potato?
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Wait, you have a boyfriend? You were crying over me just last week.
Weak schmeek. I'm over you, darling. And why are you so surprised? You moved on in less than a day. Forgot about all our great love like it was yesterday's trash.
What great love. Ryan and I had been dating for a year before the prom happened.
A year? I thought you loved me, Ryan.
Whoa, I never said I loved you, Ella. I said you were the best, and you are. You always made things easy for me, but now it's over.
It hit me like a nuclear bomb. He was right. He never said he loved me. all those years, every birthday card was signed, "You're the best." After every date, I'd only get a quick peck on the cheek. My blood boiled with anger. And before I could think, I just whirled around, grabbed Gabriel by the collar, and kissed him. I thought he'd push me away, but to my surprise, his hands wrapped around my waist, and he kissed me back. When I finally pulled away, Ryan just stood there, frozen. Well, that settles it. You and I are officially over. Have fun on my trip.
And I think this belongs to you. Found it on the ground, much like your ego.
And I ran before Ryan could see my tears, with Gabriel close behind me.
You okay?
I'm fine. I mean, the guy I've loved all my life was cheating on me behind my back, and my first kiss was with a French criminal. But yeah, I'm totally fine.
I'm not a criminal, okay? And what do you mean by first kiss? You and Ryan have never kissed before?
Of course we have. Okay, fine. We never kissed. Unless you count an occasional peck on the cheek like some bird pecking its seeds. I guess that makes me a giant loser who's been in denial about everything.
I don't think you're a loser. Maybe just someone who loved a loser.
Oh yeah, that makes me feel so much better.
What do you want me to say? You're a perfectly beautiful girl who probably has the prettiest eyes I've ever seen. You're smart, brave, and definitely have a personality. So I don't know why you're crying over some guy who barely cares about you when you could have literally anyone else in the world.
You sound like my mom.
And moms are almost always right.
You really think I have pretty eyes?
The prettiest I've seen.
And I'm not a loser?
Maybe a little, but Ryan's a bigger one for sure. Now please, stop crying and let's get you an ice pack. You did fall on your face, remember?
Gabriel and I spent the rest of the night wandering through Paris. Even though it was late, the city still felt alive. Streetlights glowed on old buildings, and quiet music drifted out of tiny cafes. I was finally having fun when Gabriel asked if he could drop me home. I don't know if I want to go back to the hotel and run into Ryan. I'm not sure I can resist the urge to break his nose if I see him again.
Well, that might give you short-term satisfaction, but maybe not the best idea. All right then, if you're sure, you can crash at my place.
By the time we reached Gabriel's place, I was bone tired. I just wanted to crash. But as soon as we flicked on a light, I saw a tall man standing in the middle of the room with a funny-looking cat and a bunch of guys in black. I looked over to Gabriel to ask what was happening, but he just stood frozen.
Gabriel, mon fils, I've been waiting.
What are you doing here?
That's no way to meet your father.
What? He's your...
No, he's not. How did you find me?
I have ways, Gabriel, and you're my heir. You belong with me. I assumed once your mother disappeared, you'd come back to me. But no, you decided to run.
Disappeared? But I thought your mom was dead.
He told you that? Oh, Gabriel, you lied to your girlfriend. Bad manners. Anyway, now that I have found you, I'll take you with me and teach you how to treat a lady right.
I told you before, I want nothing to do with you. Now, get lost before I call the police.
The police? I'm sure they'd love to question you about your extracurricular activities. You've been sloppy, mon fils.
Gabriel's dad signaled his men to grab him.
You really don't know when to quit, do you?
And he grabbed my hand and ran. We sprinted through the streets, through late-night cafe tables, knocking over chairs, tables, and whatever came in our way. I was trying to keep up, but Gabriel was so fast, and I had the legs of an old chicken. I wanted to stop and rest, but then I looked behind and saw a black car skidding around the corner, right behind us. They're in a car! Gabriel, we are not winning this race!
Nope, which is why we're upgrading our ride.
Before I could ask what he meant, he swerved toward a row of rental bikes lined up outside a shop, yanked one free, and hopped on. I jumped onto the back, and together we cut through the crowd. For a second, I thought we'd lost them, when suddenly, this car screeched in front of us, and Gabriel slammed the brakes.
Get in!
Mom?
What?
Just get in!
Gabriel and I exchanged one look. Then we jumped in. The car sped through the city until the bright lights of Paris disappeared behind us. I had no idea where we were going, but I was too busy trying to process everything. We finally stopped at this abandoned building, and Gabriel's mom told us everything.
I met Gabriel's dad when I was just 18. Fell in love, got married, and thought I'd have a happy life until everything fell apart.
Mom didn't know Dad was in the mafia. We only found out when I was 12.
I wanted to leave right away, but his father made it impossible. He threatened to take Gabby away, and I was too scared to fight back. But when he turned 14, I saw how deeply the mafia life was pulling him in. That's when I decided to take him and leave for my parents' house.
Dad's been chasing us ever since. After my grandparents passed, Mom and I decided to go separate ways to trick him. But that didn't work.
Then why did you lie to me saying that your mom was dead?
No, I said she fell sick and left. There's a difference. Besides, I just figured you'd cry at my tragic backstory, and I really couldn't handle that anymore.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, I'm sorry. I should have been more clear, but we have more pressing issues at hand. Mom, Dad's not going to stop, is he?
No, he never does.
So what now? You guys keep running forever?
No, we fly to Hawaii.
We spent the night at the safe house, and the next morning we left for the airport. While Gabriel's mom did the paperwork, he walked up to me with a smirk.
So I guess this is it?
I guess. Thanks for everything. Really helped me with the whole Ryan situation.
There was no situation. You were just chasing the wrong person. Just promise you won't fall for another idiot.
If I do you promise to knock sense into me again?
How about we try to stay off bad guys altogether and give a chance to genuinely nice people? Like me.
Before I could get a word out, our flights were announced, and Gabriel winked at me and left. I didn't know what he meant or what was waiting for me on the other side of this flight. But for the first time in a long time, I wasn't afraid of the unknown. And that's a happy ending for a stalking story. Don't you agree? There's a saying in our little town. A thread woven wrong can ruin the whole tapestry. Funny, right? A saying about mistakes in a place where everything feels like it's held together by loose stitches. My life, just one long, fraying thread. I'm Nadia. You've probably never heard of me. No one has. I'm the girl who blends into the walls, the one you forget is in the room. Teachers don't call on me. Classmates don't talk to me. Even my own parents barely notice when I come and go. I didn't always feel invisible. Once, I had someone, my best friend, Sophia. She understood me like no one else. Every afternoon, we'd dream of escaping this little town, imagining a big city life, a shared apartment with a balcony, nights at the ballet, and endless chocolate until we couldn't eat another bite. But then her family moved away, and just like that, she was gone. No more laughter, no more secrets under the oak tree. She left, and the silence felt louder than ever. And my parents? They're not bad people. Just exhausted by bills and worries. Dad grumbles about rising prices and factory closures, while Mom stares at the bills, hoping they'll vanish. So here I am, alone, invisible, and wondering if this is all life will ever be for me.
You're too quiet, Nadia.
You just need to make your own destiny.
But how? How do you shine in a world where every chance feels like a thread slipping through your fingers, and the loom of fate is woven by someone else entirely? If I could change one thing, just one thing, I'd want to matter, to be seen, to be someone. The night it began was unremarkable. Just another argument echoing through our paper-thin walls. I was upstairs trying to tune it out when I heard it again, the creak from the attic. For weeks I'd noticed it, faint whispers of wood shifting, or maybe something more. Once, I even thought I saw glimmers of light under the attic door, shadows that vanished when I blinked. I always ignored it, too scared to look. But that night, curiosity outweighed fear. It felt like something was calling me, pulling me toward the attic with a promise I couldn't ignore. look like much at first. Just an old loom, tucked away with some faded letters and brittle cloth. But there was something off about it. The threads shimmered, like they were alive. As I reached toward the threads, tiny sparks of light burst from the loom, floating through the air like fireflies. They danced around me, filling the attic with a golden glow. Then, as if it carried on the air itself, I heard a faint whisper.
Weave wisely. Each thread carries a new destiny.
I wasn't scared. The voice wasn't menacing, and neither was the loom. If anything, I felt drawn to it. The threads seemed to hum softly, almost as if they were calling out to me, waiting for me to do something incredible. I wasn't sure what I was doing, but when I finished, I felt it, like the world shifted, just a little. The next day, my classmate Maria, who'd never said more than 2 words to me, smiled and waved. Waved at me. It was small, sure, but for the first time, I felt noticed. Was this the loom's doing? Could it just have been a coincidence? Maria never seemed the type to smile at me before. But what if this was just chance? I needed to know for sure. Couldn't be a coincidence this time. The loom was waiting for me, like it had been expecting my return. I placed my hand over the loom and traced the outline of my hand just like I did before. The golden light flashed again, as it had the first time. The next morning at school, something strange happened. A pair of classmates I barely knew waved and spoke to me.
Hey, Nadia.
I love how you did your hair.
Thank you. It couldn't be a coincidence this time. The loom? It was real. And it was powerful. Once you start weaving, it's hard to stop. I mean, why would you? I tried another pattern, this time for my mom. She'd been passed over for promotions for years. But within the week,
You're not going to believe it. I got offered a better job with better pay. I never thought this would happen for us.
It's a miracle!
suddenly, there were fewer fights at home. I even wove something small for myself. A perfect score on my math test. Not because I didn't know the material, but because I wanted to see if I could. And it worked. No matter what I wish I had, it always worked.
Would you want to come to my birthday party, Nadia?
You have to come. It wouldn't be the same without you.
I wasn't invisible anymore. The world was finally bending in my favor, one thread at a time. And the loom? It seemed almost eager, like it wanted me to keep weaving.
Weave wisely. Each thread carries a new destiny.
But the thing about weaving destinies, each thread you pull tugs at another. Until it's too late. It felt like I had everything I'd ever wanted. My teachers adored me for being top of the class. I had more friends than I could count. My parents were earning more than ever. And everyone seemed to hang on to my every word. Life wasn't just good. It was perfect. Or so it seemed.
Nadia, can you sit with us at lunch today?
We really want to hear about your morning classes.
Sure, why not? I love you guys. So weird to think there was a time when we weren't friends.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, we've always been friends, haven't we?
I was so confused. It was like their memories had been rewritten. They didn't just like me now. It was as if they'd always liked me. And that felt weird. Were there memories they now had of our friendship from before the loom that I didn't have? After that strange moment with my friends, I couldn't stop thinking about Sophia. Maybe, just maybe, the loom could bring her back to me. That night, I climbed back up to the attic. The loom glowed softly, as if it had been waiting for me.
Weave wisely. Each thread carries a new destiny.
I didn't hesitate this time. Yes, I know. I want Sophia to move back. The next morning, the impossible happened. Sophia was back, just like that. It felt like a dream come to life. Sophia, I can't believe it. You're really here. Do I know you? She didn't remember me, not even a little. It was as if every moment we'd shared, every laugh, every dream, had been erased. I didn't know where else to turn. The loom had always worked before, but now Sophia didn't even know me. It was like I'd wished her into a life where I didn't exist. I thought about telling my parents everything. Mom? Dad? Can we talk for a minute?
What is it, honey?
I feel like I've messed something up. I need to talk to someone.
What do you think about getting that grand chandelier from the artisan in town? Imagine how it'll dazzle everyone when they walk in.
It's about the loom upstairs. I think it's changing things, and I don't know what to do.
Let's get the chandelier. I've also been looking into buying a villa by the lake. We can go there in the summers. Would you like that, Nadia? You can bring your friends.
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
Then it's done. I'll talk to the realtor tomorrow. What did you want to talk about, Nadia?
Nothing. As I listened to my parents excitedly talk about all the new things we could buy, I glanced around and thought about everything the loom had given me, given us. Sure, it still hurt that Sophia didn't remember me, but maybe those memories were meant to stay in the past. I had a new life now. New money, new friends. Years passed, and life just kept getting better. I graduated at the top of my class, just as the loom had promised. I thrived on it all. I moved to the city, just as I had always dreamed. My parents bought me an amazing apartment, and I started a job as a museum curator. I barely ever used the loom. I didn't need to. It felt like I was getting a fresh start in a place where I could figure out who I really was. Here in the city, I had new friends that I didn't even use the loom to get. People liked me. They always invited me out and wanted to be around me. I was in love with my life. I felt like it couldn't get any better. And then I met him.
I'm so sorry. My books are always trying to make an escape. You okay?
Oh, I'm fine. More importantly, are the books okay?
They've been through worse. I'm Mateo, professional book dropper.
Nadia, aspiring flower crusher. Nice to meet you. There was something about him, something different. We started talking, and it felt so easy, so natural, like we'd known each other forever. As we talked, I started to learn more about Mateo. He was new to the city too, chasing a dream of opening his own bookstore. Mateo was kind and funny, and he had this quiet determination about him. He wasn't flashy or loud, but everything he did felt genuine. He told me about his family, a big, warm, chaotic group back in a small Italian village, and how he'd saved every spare coin to come here. He wanted more than just a job. He wanted a life he could be proud of. The more time I spent with Mateo, the more I realized how much we had in common. He had a way of listening, really listening, that made me feel seen in a way I had never felt before, in a way I hadn't realized I had been missing. I felt like I'd met the perfect guy. And then...
There you are. Sorry it took so long for me to get off work.
No worries. I got caught up in a good conversation anyway. Nadia, this is Isabella, my girlfriend.
Oh, of course. He has a girlfriend. How could he not? I should have been happy for him. I was happy for him. But deep down, there was this tiny, selfish part of me that ached. A part of me that wondered if things had been different, if I had met him first. Would it have been me sitting beside him?
So, how do you know each other?
Oh, we just met, but it feels like we've known each other for years.
It wasn't fair. Meeting him felt like fate. And yet, fate had already chosen someone else for him. Mateo and I quickly became close. We talked almost every day and hung out every other day. Isabella joined us sometimes, but her job kept her busy. Honestly, I preferred it that way. I liked having Mateo's full attention. One day, he even surprised me by visiting me at work.
So, this is where you disappear to every day? Surrounded by old things?
You say that like it's a bad thing. Some of these old things have more stories in them than we do.
I don't know. I think I've got a few good stories in me.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Like the time I walked into a museum and forced the lovely curator into giving me a private tour.
This was dangerous. Being around him like this, so easy, so natural, it made it impossible to ignore what I really wanted, to be with him. This was woven over 400 years ago. Every thread was placed by hand. The amount of hard work it took to make this, it takes my breath away every time.
Wow, can you imagine that kind of patience?
No, I can't.
I guess it's true what they say, right? All good things take time.
Maybe. Maybe that was my answer. Maybe I didn't have to force things. Maybe, if I just waited long enough, fate would work itself out.
Sorry, I gotta take this.
No matter how much time we spent together, no matter how easy it felt, at the end of the day, he was still dating Isabella.
I should go. This was fun, thank you. Let's do it again. I like hearing you talk about your passion for your work. See you later.
My feelings for him had only grown stronger. I told myself to be patient, to wait. But for how long? Maybe fate needed a little help. I didn't want to hurt Mateo or Isabella, and I wasn't trying to take something that wasn't mine. Mateo and I were supposed to be together. I just needed things to change a little.
Weave wisely. Each thread carries a destiny.
I just want her to leave, that's all. That was it. No harm, no pain, just a shift in fate. The next morning, I wondered if the loom had worked. Would there be some sign? Some shift in the air? Mateo?
Hey, Nadia.
You okay?
Isabella's leaving.
Leaving?
She got a job offer across the country. We talked about it last night. I guess it just made sense to break up.
This is what I wanted. A quiet, mutual parting. No fights, no heartbreak. Just fate gently pulling them apart. And you're okay with it?
Yeah, I think I am. Hey, do you want to take a walk?
I'd love to. It wasn't long before Mateo and I got together. Our connection only grew, and our relationship was so easy. Years passed, and Mateo and I had built a life together. We got married, and our days were filled with laughter and love. He was my best friend, my partner, the person who reminded me every day what it meant to be truly happy. But happiness has a way of making you forget the past, and sometimes the past finds a way of reminding you it's still there.
Nadia? What's this?
Get away from that.
What is it? It looks ancient. Does it still work?
Mateo, please, don't touch it. Please, you don't understand.
Nadia, what is this?
It's a loom. A magical one. I've used it many times in my life.
Used it? For what?
To change things. To fix things. My life before, it wasn't anything like this. I was invisible, Mateo. The loom made people see me. It gave me the life I always wanted. I had kept it a secret for so long, but now there was no hiding it. I told him everything. About Sophia, my friends, my parents, how it helped me move to the city. Every detail I'd kept hidden for years.
Have you used it on me?
No, not directly.
What do you mean directly?
I debated telling him a lie, but I couldn't do it. Maybe he would understand that we were meant to be together, and that I was only doing the right thing by helping fate fall in place. Otherwise, our happy life wouldn't look the way it did. I wove a pattern to send Isabella away.
You sent her away?
I didn't want to hurt either of you. I just wanted to guide fate.
You can't guide fate, Nadia. If we're meant to be together, we would have ended up together no matter what.
I'm so sorry.
So, what does that mean? Is this relationship real or just something woven together by a spell? How can I know if what I feel is true? What you feel is true?
Mateo, everything we've built, everything we've shared, it's real. I swear to you.
I don't know. I don't know if I can believe that.
For the first time in years, I was alone again. No golden threads to guide me, no loom to shape the future. Just me, watching my life unravel thread by thread. And this time, I wasn't sure if even the loom could fix it, or if I even deserved to try. I wanted to take it back, all of it. I wanted to erase the moment I ever touched the loom, to undo every weave, every selfish decision, every golden thread I had forced into place. If I could just go back to before I ever wished for Mateo, before I ever sent Isabella away. Maybe then he'd still be here. I couldn't let it end like this. I wouldn't. If the loom had unraveled my life, maybe I could unravel what I did.
Weave wisely. Each thread carries a destiny.
I don't want to weave anymore. I want to unweave. Tell me how to take it all back.
Begin where you ended. Unravel what was stitched.
I was confused at first, but then I began. I started with putting back the threads I had taken apart from the spell that sent Isabella away. The loom began to hum, and swirls of light glowed all around me. Every thread I pulled felt like a piece of my heart breaking. I undid all the patterns. Sophia moving back, getting valedictorian, my parents' wealth, my classmates becoming my friends. I saw the life I'd built, the one I'd clung to, fall apart, moment by moment. But I kept going until... I was back where I started. The loom's magic was gone, and with it, everything it had given me. The wealth, the friends, the love of my life, all of it was erased. And yet, I felt at peace. At peace knowing life is messy and complicated, but that's what makes it real. I'd spent so long trying to weave something flawless that I forgot the beauty of patience and letting life unfold on its own. I buried the loom beneath the tree where Sophia and I used to dream. I've learned that what's meant for me will find me, and what isn't, it's better left to fate.
I'm so sorry. My books don't like staying in one place. Are you okay?
Yes. Hi, my name is Charlotte. Please like and subscribe. I was born in Bordeaux, a beautiful city in France. When I was 8 years old, we moved to the USA because my dad got a great job there. The city we moved to was huge, filled with skyscrapers, shops, and opportunities, or so I was told. However, it didn't take long for things to start going downhill. When I began attending school there, my parents enrolled me in a private school for international students.
Hi, everyone. My name is Charlotte. I'm 8 years old, and I come from France. I brought some madeleines that my mom made for everyone today. Hi, Charlotte. I'm Laura from Italy. Do you want to hang out later today?
Laura and I became very close. We would often take the same bus home, do our homework together, and even attend drawing classes together. Even though Laura didn't speak any French, being with her reminded me a lot of home. I was shy and liked to keep things to myself, while Laura was fun and a bit wild. Someone my mom wouldn't think was classy. Mom really didn't like Laura. She kept trying to make me hang out with kids from rich families that I didn't like. But I ended up making friends with 2 girls just so Mom would stop nagging me. One evening, I forgot to tell Mom I invited Laura over for dinner. Mom was really mean to Laura when she came.
Charlotte mentioned your mom is a saleswoman. Do you guys even eat dinner every night, or is it too expensive?
Elise, why would you say something like that?
It's okay, Uncle. No, we don't always have big dinners. But what we do have is each other. What's the point of a fancy dinner if the family isn't close?
What do you mean by that?
Oh, nothing. Did I upset you? I thought your family was okay.
I think you should go.
Mom, why?
She's not going anywhere.
She leaves now, or you'll be sorry.
An awkward silence fell, which Laura broke.
Don't worry, I'll go. Seems like I just got my answer about the kind of family this is.
Mom sharply told her,
Leave now.
and with that, Laura left. I was really upset with Mom, but she didn't seem to care. Laura told me not to let it bother me.
You already have it tough with a mom like that. I won't make it worse by leaving you alone. I love you for being here.
One gloomy day in the 6th grade, everything changed when my parents started to struggle financially after my dad lost his job and they had to move me to a public school.
We can't just pull her out of school. She's doing so well. What would I even say to my friends if they asked? I want her to succeed here in the USA, to make something of herself and make me proud.
Dad slammed his hand angrily on the table and glared at Mom.
Elise, think clearly for once. You're not seeing the big picture as usual. You don't seem to get that I've lost my job and we're drowning in bills. The only sensible move is to switch her to public school.
Yes, Mom was a bit of a difficult person. She was obsessed with maintaining a perfect image. Being perceived as poor was a disaster for her. Her mom was also a strict lady, obsessed with etiquette and rules. She was against my mom's marriage, although my dad was well off. But Mom stood firm and married Dad, so her parents cut her off. Now, us not having much money would make my grandma right, and that made my mom even madder. She made us move to a different city so she could lie and tell her friends that Dad had received a job opportunity far away. I screamed and cried for days. I didn't want to leave our city or be away from Laura. But as usual, Mom ignored my protests. I was heartbroken. Dad, I hate her. Dad hugged me.
Hate is a strong word. You know how your mom is. She wants things her way. Life hasn't ended, though. You'll make new friends. And about Laura, you can still talk to her on the phone, and I'll help you see her once in a while.
Thank you, Dad. You're too kind to be with someone like her. But I guess life isn't fair. Saying goodbye to Laura was incredibly hard. And to make things worse, after we moved, I realized I forgot the notebook with Laura's number in it. I was utterly heartbroken. Even though we didn't have a lot of money, Mom kept having big parties at fancy places for her friends. We were getting more and more into debt, even though Dad asked her many times to stop the parties. One day, she even gave her friend a really expensive ring for her birthday. Dad got really upset when the bank called him.
Listen, woman, I can't take this anymore. This is your last chance. If you don't stop, we might have to split up.
And I'll want to stay with Dad.
Really now?
With that, Mom left. She was gone for a couple of days. Although Dad and I were worried, we didn't try to reach her. It was time for her to act like the adult she supposedly was. When she returned, she walked into the house and started doing laundry as if nothing had happened. From that day on, she stopped seeing her friends so much and didn't waste our money anymore. I was relieved she finally came to her senses, but I could see a change in her. Her eyes had lost their spark. It was as if she had aged 10 years. Well, things at the public school weren't perfect either. At first, it was okay, but things changed quickly when I started junior year of high school. I noticed my body changing rapidly, even spotting some freckles on my face. It wasn't just my appearance that was changing. My social life was too. Suddenly, boys started looking at me differently. Girls were going out with boys, and there seemed to be more parties.
Hey, Charlotte, how about grabbing some ice cream after school? Just the two of us.
Just us? Alone?
Yeah, just us. Why, were you planning on turning it into a group event?
Well, I thought maybe we could invite Jessica too.
Look, I wasn't making a guest list. You know what? Forget it. I gotta go. And hey, Charlotte, or should I call you the Lost Little Raccoon? Just because you're from France doesn't mean you're anything special here. If anything, it just shows you can't take a joke and always dampen the mood.
Before I could respond, he pressed his gum into my hair as he walked away. It was not just embarrassing, it felt like a sharp hug at my dignity. I came back home that day, wanting to tell Mom about it. She was cooking in the kitchen when I walked in. Hi, Mom. I had a weird day at school today.
I really don't have time for your stories right now. You know, we've been living in the USA for quite a while, and you still call a lot of things weird.
I felt so angry I started crying. Our relationship wasn't that great to begin with, but now it felt ruined. If a girl doesn't find confidence in her mother, then the relationship feels distant, and each day I was growing further away from my mom. I headed to my room to put away my books when I spotted a sketchbook on my desk. It was from the drawing classes with Laura, and it had her number inside. Turns out I'd saved it here as well. I was ecstatic. I quickly and quietly went to the living room, grabbed my mom's phone, and dialed Laura's mom's number.
Hello? Elise, what do you want?
Hi. It's actually Charlotte here, Laura's friend from school. Do you remember me? Can I talk to Laura?
Oh, Charlotte. Yes, I remember you. One moment. Laura, your friend Charlotte is on the phone.
Charlotte? Wow, I've been trying to find you, but I couldn't. How are you? Hey, Laura. I'm not on social media much. I really miss talking to you. We should hang out soon. I'd love to, but my family is going to Europe this Friday. Europe? That's so cool. I wish I could go too. You're so lucky. Why don't you come with us? My grandparents' house is big, and you can stay in the guest room. I'd love to, but my mom would never say yes. We don't have to tell her everything. Just say you're going on a school project abroad. She loves to brag about this stuff, no? Laura, that's smart. It's gonna be so fun. We can eat lots of good food, see new places, and maybe even paint. I'd love to paint in a quiet spot away from all the noise, especially away from Mom. In fact, I found out that the city Laura and I were visiting was hosting a big art competition during our stay, and I signed up for it. On Friday, my mother drove me to the airport with a big smile on her face.
I'm so proud of you, darling, for getting accepted to this elite school program. I'm sure it'll help you get accepted to one of the Ivy League schools.
Sure. Yes, Mom. I got out of the car and walked to the airport gate when I saw Laura. She looked great, ran up to me and gave me a big hug. Charlotte, we're going to Europe. It's gonna be so fun. I'm so excited. I entered a drawing contest over there too. The prize is also about $500,000. Can you come and cheer for me? It feels like a dream. Sure, but you have to draw me and make my eyebrows look good. I enjoyed spending time with Laura, but sometimes things felt off. It seemed like she would suddenly stop talking to her mom when I showed up, as if they were hiding something from me. One night after we had dinner, she said something strange. You know, I was actually happy when your family started having money problems. What? Why would you say that? Well, your mom was a witch, and seeing her getting humiliated was so satisfying. First of all, becoming poor has nothing to do with humiliation. Second, Mom becoming poor also means me becoming poor. I thought your love for me was bigger than your hate for her. Oh, come on now. She's awful. Okay, let's change the subject. Want to eat some ice cream? I suddenly don't feel like it. I think I'm calling it a night. And with that, I stormed off. The competition day was getting close. It was going to last 2 days. The first for live painting in front of an audience, and the second for a closing ceremony where judges would announce the winners. Do you think the judges will be fair? I'm sure they will be. Are you excited to cheer me on? Of course. Will you cheer for me too? What do you mean? I'm entering the competition too. You knew that, right? What? No. You think I've lost my touch? I've been taking drawing classes for the past year. I see this as a great chance. But Laura, you never mentioned this. I didn't think I needed to report my plans to you. Anyway, I think it's better we focus on our own preparations for the next few days, so we probably shouldn't hang out too much. I was stunned. What happened to my best friend? I almost regretted coming on this trip. The only thing keeping me here was the upcoming competition. I was determined to win and get the prize. The first day of the competition arrived. We were led onto the stage, each competitor equipped with a set of pencils, colors, and a blank canvas. Laura leaned over with a mischievous grin and whispered, "May the best girl win." I was too stressed to respond and just focused on getting onto the stage. That's when I saw it. The event was being broadcast live on TV. My heart sank. I thought, oh no, my mom will see this. She'll ground me for life. Not only did I lie to her, but I'm also here with Laura, someone she can't stand. And now Laura, she turned out to be so different from what I thought. This is a nightmare. I wish I could just vanish. But I took a deep breath, pushed down my fear, and began to paint with all my heart, pouring every emotion onto the canvas. While sitting comfortably at home, my mom saw my face on the TV screen and yelled, "Pierre, our daughter isn't on a school project. She's on TV with Laura. This is nonsense. She won't get away with this. We're flying to Europe." My parents caught the next flight and arrived on the second day of the competition. Mom tried calling me the whole time, but I was too caught up with the competition and the drama with Laura to answer. On the final day, as I stood on stage with Laura and the other competitors, they started announcing the winners. Laura got second place, and I was on the verge of tears until they announced Charlotte is the winner. Overjoyed, I walked towards the microphone to give a speech, only to see my mom storm into the hall. I was shocked and embarrassed. Yelling in front of everyone, she demanded, "How could you lie to me, Charlotte? You know there will be consequences. And with Laura, of all people?" "Oh, me, of all people? Remember when you burned the book that Charlotte wrote my number in? You called and insulted me and my mom. You even threatened me, a child, to stay away from Charlotte. Do you want me to say what you did too?" "Shut it. Don't you dare speak to my daughter like that." "Laura, what exactly did my mom do to you?" "Let it go. Didn't you just win? Take your prize and leave with your parents."
Your mom threatened Laura's mom with her connections in immigration, saying she'd get her deported.
What kind of sick person hates a kid like this? What has she ever done to you? You need help. I'm taking the prize money and I'm leaving with Dad. You should consider getting help. I'll even pay for your therapy. I traveled all this way for you to side with her? What lies has she told you?
Enough. Let's go, Charlotte.
Laura, what my mom did was wrong, but targeting me wasn't fair. Still, I'm here if you want to start over. Then I went to receive my medal and prize, hugged my dad, and we left.
তোমার দুটো রেসিপি আমার ভালো লেগেছে, বাট বেশি ভালো লেগেছে হচ্ছে ডেজার্টটা। কিন্তু এইটা আমার কাছে অনেকটা হালুয়া টাইপ মনে হয়েছে, মানে ফ্লেভারটা।
মূলার কোনো বাইট, ডেজার্ট অথবা হালুয়া বলি, যাই বলি, এটা টু গুড।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
এবারে নারায়ণগঞ্জের প্রতিযোগী নিশাত আঞ্জুম, আপনার ফুড নিয়ে চলে আসুন। বাবা, কত কত ফুড।
হ্যালো জাজেস।
হ্যালো।
হ্যালো, হাই।
ম্যাম, আমি একটা স্যাভরি টার্ট করেছি, এটা হচ্ছে ক্রিস লরেন উইথ র্যাডিশ, আর হচ্ছে ডেজার্টে করেছি আমি র্যাডিশ সুইট বাইট।
নিশা, তুমি বেইজটা কি বিস্কিটের বেইজ ব্যবহার করেছো নিচে?
আমি টার্টের বেস করেছি।
তার সুইট ডো যেটাকে বলি আর কি, তুমি কিন্তু সল্টেড করে করেছো।
হ্যাঁ, আমি স্যাভরি
করেছো, খেতে ভালো হয়েছে। তারপরে তোমার ইয়েটা ভালো ছিল, ডোটা ভালো ছিল, মানে ওয়েল ডান হয়েছে, আবার সফট ছিল।
তোমার দুটো রেসিপি আমার ভালো লেগেছে, বাট বেশি ভালো লেগেছে হচ্ছে ডেজার্টটা। কিন্তু এইটা আমার কাছে অনেকটা হালুয়া টাইপ মনে হয়েছে, মানে ফ্লেভারটা। থ্যাংক ইউ।
নিশাদ, আমার কাছে আপনার পায়েটা ভালো লেগেছে। থ্যাংক ইউ ম্যাম। খেতে মজা, পারলে খাওয়াও টাইপের হয়েছে, বিকজ আমি এখানে একদমই মূলার কোনো কিছুই পাচ্ছি না। কাইন্ড অফ একটু পিৎজার মতন হয়েছে। স্পেশালি ডেজার্টটা অনেক বেশি ভালো হয়েছে। থ্যাংক ইউ। গুড় দিয়ে মূলার কোনো বাইট, ডেজার্ট অথবা হালুয়া বলি, যাই বলি, এটা টু গুড। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ।
Kishta, I felt it was a risky move. It's a classic French recipe. I think you did a great job. Bhalo chilo taste, balance of beef with mula, with cheese. I think right and appropriate notes ke hit kore. Overall bhalo chilo. I wish eta arektu shokto hoto. এটা উঠানো যাচ্ছে না, উঠানোর আগেই ভেঙে যাচ্ছে। সো সার্ভিং এর সময় একটু প্রবলেম হতে পারে। ইউ ওয়ন্ট বি এবল টু সার্ভ পিসেস। খিস ইউজুয়ালি আমরা কেটে পিসেস হিসাবে সার্ভ করি, সো ওই জায়গাতে একটু টেকনিক্যালি ভুল হয়ে যাচ্ছে। বাট ওভারঅল আই থিঙ্ক দ্যাট ওয়াজ আ গুড ট্রাই।
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
মূলা টেস্ট ওয়াইজ ওভাবে করে বোঝা যায় না, বাট আই ক্যান ফিল যে মূলা আছে এটার মধ্যে। হোয়াট আই রিয়েলি লাইক ইজ দিস, এটাতে মূলা টেস্ট করা যায়। ইট ইজ আ সুইট ডিশ, বাট গুড় কনডেন্স মিল্ক দেওয়ার পরেও যে অ্যামাউন্ট অফ সুইটনেসটাকে আপনি ব্যালেন্স করতে পেরেছেন, আই রিয়েলি লাইক দিস। সো ওভারঅল আজকে ভালো ট্রাই ছিল। দিস ইজ নট দ্য বেস্ট ডিশ ইউ হ্যাভ ফেড আস, বাট ইটস গুড এনাফ। ঠিক আছে, কস্টিংও ঠিক আছে। কিচেন ক্লিন ছিল না, বাট কস্টিং ঠিক আছে।
জাজেসদের ভালো লেগেছে, কমেন্টস ভালো এসেছে, মানে আরও একটু ভালো করতে হতো। আর আমি একটা সুইট বাইট করেছি রেডিশ দিয়ে, তো এটা জাস্ট ওয়াও ছিল, সবাই বলেছে। আমার অন্য জাজেসদেরও ভালো লেগেছে, গেস্ট জাজেস তারও ভালো লেগেছে, কারণ সে যেহেতু উনি কখনো মূলা খায় না, তো ওনাকে আমি খাওয়াতে পেরেছি। আমি স্যাটিসফাই আজকের এই ডিশ দুটো ট্রাই করে।
কি এটা? আমি করেছি ভিতর দিয়ে কাবাব আর হচ্ছে এটা হালুয়া করেছি।
মিষ্টি ঠিকঠাক আছে?
হ্যাঁ, আমি চেষ্টা করছি আপনাকে মিষ্টি মুখ করার জন্য।
কি রান্না হচ্ছে?
পিটলিটের লাড্ডু আর সাথে আছে আমার বিটরুটের মোমো।
কি অবস্থা ভাই? আপা আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
I am really worried দিবার জন্য। ও একটা নষ্ট হয়ে গেছে।
বেশ একটা কোন
নষ্ট হয়ে গেছে। ফুল বুঝতে পারেন, ফুল পুড়ে গেছে।
ডেজার্ট।
অ্যান্ড আমি যখন ওকে জিজ্ঞেস করছি দুটো হবে তো, দুটাই মনে হয় সে। তামান্নারটা আমার কাছে অনেক ইন্টারেস্টিং মনে হয়েছে। তামান্না একটা তিবেতিয়ান স্যুপ, তিবেতে স্যুপ করতেছে বিটরুট দিয়ে। ক্যারট দিয়ে হয় ইউজুয়ালি, ওটাকে বিটরুট দিয়ে করতেছে।
ভালো তো।
হ্যাঁ, ভেরি নাইস অল্টারনেটিভ। লিনা করতেছে একটা ডাম্পলিং, সুন্দর।
পার্টিসিপেন্টস, আর মাত্র 15 মিনিট বাকি আছে। এই 15 মিনিটের মধ্যে আপনাদের কুকিং কমপ্লিট করতে হবে, এরপর প্লেটিং, কস্টিং এবং কিচেন ক্লিনিং। প্লিজ হারি আপ।
কি অবস্থা? কি রান্না হচ্ছে?
পিটলিটের লাড্ডু আর সাথে আছে আমার বিটরুটের মোমো।
ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ। হ্যালো, কি ভয় লাগছে না? এটা কি?
এটা হচ্ছে একটা সালাদ, যেটা হচ্ছে চিজ আর বিভিন্ন রকম ভেজিটেবল দিয়ে। এটা হচ্ছে যে আমাদের বিটরুটের যে মানে একটা ব্যাড একটা ফ্লেভার থাকে, এটা আমি হচ্ছে স্ট্রং ফ্লেভারটা খুব ভালো করে বয়েল করে ভিনেগার দিয়ে
ওকে,
করে দিই।
বেস্ট অফ লাক।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
কি অবস্থা ভাই? কি এটা?
আমি করেছি বিটরুট দিয়ে কাবাব আর হচ্ছে একটা হালুয়া করেছি।
মিষ্টি ঠিকঠাক আছে?
হ্যাঁ, আমি চেষ্টা করছি আপনাকে মিষ্টি মুখ করার জন্য।
ঠিক আছে,
থ্যাংক ইউ।
ওকে। আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
আরে বাহ,
ওয়ালাইকুম। কি অবস্থা ভাই? আপা আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
কেমন লাগলো এই তিনজনকে দেখে?
প্রথমে যখন ঢুকি তখন আমার ভিতরে একটা ভয় ভয় করছিল এবং আমি এদের কথা চিন্তা করছিলাম, এদের না জানি কতটা ভয় করছে। হ্যাঁ,
ফাইনালি আমরা আমাদের আজকের অতিথি বিচারককে পেয়ে গেলাম, খুবই ভালো লাগছে। প্রোডাকশন, একটা চেয়ার লাগবে মঞ্চে।
না চেয়ার লাগবে না, অনেক দূর থেকে এসেছি, অনেকক্ষণ গাড়িতে বসেছিলাম, কোনো অসুবিধা নেই। ওরা বসুক, তোমরা বসো।
না না, আমরা দাঁড়িয়ে আছি, আপনি চাইলে দেখে আসতে পারেন।
আমাদের গেস্ট জাজ আজকে বলেছে যে সে বিটরুট পছন্দ করে না, সো তাকে খাওয়ানোর জন্য আমাদেরকে ইনোভেটিভ হতে হবে, ইন্টারেস্টিং খাবার হতে হবে, অ্যান্ড অফকোর্স মজা হতে হবে।
উনি বিট খান না যখন শুনেছি তখন একটু মানে কনফিউজ ছিলাম, কারণ একটা খাবার যখন মানুষ খেতে চায় না তাকে খাওয়ানোটা সেটা খুবই টাফ। আর যখন মানুষটা জানে যে এই খাবারটা এখানে দেওয়া আছে বাট সেটা আমি খুঁজে পাচ্ছি না, তখন আরও বেশি টাফ।
ডিয়ার পার্টিসিপেন্টস, পারলে খাওয়াও। চ্যালেঞ্জের আজকে মেন্টর টাইমস তোমরা শুরুতেই পাচ্ছ 2 মিনিটস করে। তো মেন্টরদের কাছ থেকে আমার মনে হয় খুব ভালো করে বুঝে ডিশটা পারফেক্টলি করতে হবে।
পার্টিসিপেন্টস, আমি এর সাথে অ্যাড করতে চাই যে আজকে আমাদের এলিমিনেশন এপিসোড, সো পারফর্ম করতেই হবে। বটম 2 আজকে আমাদের এখান থেকে এলিমিনেটেড হয়ে যাবে, which includes আপনাদের 7 জন অ্যান্ড আপনাদের 7 জন। বটম 2 will be eliminated. পারফর্ম করার আরেকটা রিজন ইজ দ্য ব্ল্যাক স্কার্ফ। আমরা সবাই ব্ল্যাক স্কার্ফের পাওয়ার জানি, কত দুবার দেখেছি পাওয়ার। ইউ ওয়ান্ট টু উইন দ্য ব্ল্যাক স্কার্ফ, ইউ হ্যাভ টু হ্যাভ দ্য হাইয়েস্ট মার্ক। সো পারফর্ম। আজকে এপিসোডের এন্ডে ওয়ান অফ ইউ উইল উইন দ্য ব্ল্যাক স্কার্ফ।
থ্যাংক ইউ শেফ। বিজ্ঞ বিচারক, আমি অনুরোধ করবো এবারে আপনাদের আসন গ্রহণ করার জন্য। পার্টিসিপেন্টস, আপনারা বসবেন। এবার মেন্টরস, আপনাদের সময় শুরু হচ্ছে 2 মিনিটস করে পার পার্টিসিপেন্টসের জন্য। এখন
চিকেন পাউডারটা ইউজ করবেন, আর বিটরুটকে আপনি এক কাজ করবেন, এটা হচ্ছে ঘিতে ভাজা ভাজা করে নেবেন। সেকেন্ডলি হচ্ছে আপনি হচ্ছে অ্যাপিটাইজার সার্ভ করতে চাচ্ছেন, স্যালাড করতে চাচ্ছেন, ভিনেগারে ভিতরে কুচি একদম মিহি কুচি বিটরুটটা কি যাতে অল্প দেবেন, জাস্ট কালার করছি না, একটু কিছু মিক্স করতে চাচ্ছেন। এটা ভালো করতেছে, কি করতে রোল আর টাইম শেষ। টাইম শেষ, তুমি বুঝে নাও স্যার, যেটা বেটার হবে। টেস্টিও তো হতে হবে, বিটরুটের স্মেল থাকে, তাহলে আপনি কর্নটা টক ইউজ করেন, তাহলে টেস্ট ভালো আসবে। না, ভিতরে চিকেনের ভিতরে বিটরুটের স্টাফিং যাবে, একটা চিকেনের সাথে মিক্সড হয়ে চিকেনের রোলার হতে পারে বা যে কোনো একটা টিকিয়া। এসব কী করতে চাইবেন বলে মিক্স টাইপের লেয়ারিং ভালো লাগে, মাথা লেয়ারিং ভালো, বিটরুট বানিয়ে উপরে লেয়ার করে সাথে গেলে বিটরুটের লেয়ারে একদম দিন বিটরুট ভালো থাকবে দিয়ে দিন, আর হচ্ছে করে দিচ্ছি মজা একটা ফ্রেপের ভিতরে স্টাফ দিয়ে দেন। ফ্রেপ করতে পারেন না, ময়দা চিনি এদিক দিয়ে সসটা দিলে টাইম স্যার।